Hi everybody, welcome back to Tunes Reviews. Today we're going to talk about giving people hugs and kisses and as long as they consent to it. Because if you're giving people hugs and kisses and they're not consenting, then awkward. Today we're going to talk about the 10 reviewers in FragCom that I most frequently watch. This is not to say that other reviewers are not good. This is not to say that I don't watch some of the other reviewers. This is just my personal taste, who I end up going to the most for information or entertainment, and who I really want to support the most, I guess, that I've associated myself with and or built relationships with for the past next to, again, almost 10 years now. And I think I've seen some really, really talented reviewers come into the mix in the past few years as well. It's just that once you have kind of found the people that you really, really trust and enjoy, sometimes there's not always a need to like throw more into the mix. But that being said, let's get into the top 10 reviewers as if they're just cologne. No, let's get into the 10 reviewers that I just tend to most frequent. So coming in at number 10, again, this is really in no order whatsoever, but number 10 is Dan Mickersmish. I came into the reviewing game right around the same time as him and just a little bit after. And I've always enjoyed Dan. He's always, for the most part, had a really light-spirited approach to this whole journey. And I feel like it was really refreshing to see the dynamic between him and Amanda when they first started doing Amanda Knows Best. I really enjoyed that series. That was one of my favorite series. Dan and I actually tend to have a lot in common when it comes to our taste in fragrance, actually. I don't know, I mean, he and I don't really talk on a very personal level, but I've always really enjoyed his approach to things as far as reviews and not taking this whole thing very seriously and just enjoying it and being happy with whichever way the journey takes him, pretty much. So I really enjoyed Dan's take on that, and I loved some of the segments that he came up with. I think that he was probably the first one to incorporate incorporating using the dynamic between him and his girlfriend on YouTube. So that was really cool. And as you can see, I have a few videos of my girlfriend on here as well. So thank you, Dan, for that. I appreciate you, and I watch you pretty often. Next up, number 9, Brad. Brad is like the most attacked reviewer in this game. I don't really understand. I mean, I think Brad has a really sarcastic sense of humor, and if you're not able to decipher that, then maybe, I mean, I get that. I'm sarcastic too, and in person, most of you would probably think I was kind of a jerk until you got to know me. And I think that sense of humor, that bluntness that Brad possesses, for one, I really appreciate it. I think that Brad has always taken the same approach as Dan as far as just enjoying this and letting it be what it is and just grabbing the webcam and like enjoying his passion and sharing it with others and not making this any more than it needs to be. It's cologne, you smell good. I've always enjoyed Brad's top 10 lists, whatever, top 10, top 5, whatever he's come up with. As far as some of the more conversation topics, I don't always watch his actual reviews on things. I do like that he keeps them short and sweet. But for the most part, I really enjoy most of the content he comes up with that doesn't just involve a fragrance review. I think that he's pretty good at that kind of stuff. But him and his profound love for Guinea 54, hi Polly, I think that kind of shows what kind of approach he's always wanted to take with his channel. And that's just, again, making it, you know, lighthearted, free-spirited, and just enjoying this hobby with everybody else and sharing it. So Brad, I don't know why you get the hate you get. You deserve way more subscribers. We have basically, again, another one that I started around the same time as. I think that, you know, you have a lot to bring to the table, and for God's sake, you have reviewed more than, even when I deleted my old channel 1 or 2 times that I did it, you have accumulated way more reviews than I ever have. So I think that you deserve a lot more than what you've got, and thank you for all that you do. Coming in at number 8, we have Cascade Scents. Yes, I love your taste in fragrance. It's actually a lot more unique than most reviewers that I've seen. You tend to like a lot more of the, I don't want to say like fresher scent, I don't know. What comes to mind is how much you love Tom Ford's Bois Moroccan as much as I do, pretty much. And I haven't seen that in many reviewers. I've seen literally nobody other than you and obviously my review on it talk about that fragrance. And I love that you love Gypsy Water. I love Gypsy Water as well. Just some of these fragrances that nobody else ever seems to talk about, you tend to bring up, and I've checked out a few different samples and stuff based on some of your reviews, so I really appreciate that. And you and I still need to meet up in Buffalo at some point. You owe me, I owe you. We'll make it happen. Number 7 is somebody I've never, ever conversed with. But Kevin Samuels is somebody that I've never actually conversed with, but I really enjoy his content. He is a gentleman. He has wonderful taste, both in fashion. So aesthetically, he's a good-looking man. He dresses really well. He's really well thought out when he speaks. So he's a great speaker. And I love his taste in fragrance. I think that he has such a refined, a luxurious taste in fragrance, and I love watching his videos. I think he's very knowledgeable. Again, he's one of the ones that I really enjoy for his love for the same things that I love, pretty much. And I know that it's probably redundant and a little maybe annoying, but we tend to gravitate towards people that have the same taste in us. But I have checked out a few things based off of his reviews as well, and I really appreciate the content that he brings to the table as far as reviewing goes. So Kevin Samuels. Coming in at number 6, again, no order for this whatsoever, but number 6. I had the pleasure of meeting Steven over at Redolescence. Typically speaking, I think that he is the best speaker, the most professional out of anybody in the YouTube game. He is 100% the most articulate, well thought out, mild-mannered reviewer out of all of us, I think. And that's not to say that like the rest of us suck or anything. I just think that he's really good at what he does. And I think he is a wonderful person too. Again, I got to meet him in person a few years back, and he was just an absolute pleasure to meet. And someday, hopefully, we get to see each other again. I plan on being in New York City either late spring or early summer, so hopefully maybe we can kind of work something out. Again, Redolescence, Steven, thank you so much for all that you do. I appreciate you. I appreciate your content, and I watch you on a pretty regular basis. To follow up with Steven, number 5, we have Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. My God, I'm glad that I did not pursue a career in singing. So Carlos, Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. Say what you want about Carlos. You know, for some reason, people just love to gravitate their bullshit towards him. I don't know why, but there's always something going on. But you know what he does? He just deflects that shit. He's like bulletproof. It just goes ting, 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 and ricochets off. So, Carlos, I absolutely 110% love his taste. Carlos has amazing taste. He's absolutely 100% unapologetic about the things that he does love in the fragrance game. So whenever Carlos puts up a video, again, you guys know that I'm a Tom Ford fanboy. I am on it like white on rice. I love his taste in any fragrance, but he and I have exceptionally similar taste in the Tom Ford fragrances. And just so many more. Like, he's not afraid of the floral fragrances and you know, being a man and wearing floral fragrances, and neither am I. I don't give a flying shit. If it's delicious and it works well on my skin, I wear it. And I really love Carlos's his gravitation towards some of these more bombastic fragrances, because I, again, love some of these heavier, projection beasts, some of these ones that are kind of off the wall, tuberose fragrances, whatever. He is not afraid of just being his own person and you know, accepting that his love for fragrance and being unapologetic in that. So I really appreciate Carlos's content. Thank you so much for what you do. I watch you on a very regular basis. Keep doing what you're doing. So number 4 is I am Joey Cannoli. Joey, what can I say? Especially in the past month, you and I have exchanged a lot of private messages, and you can take that whatever way you want. I don't know. No, Joey is a great guy. I think he and I, if we were ever to hang out, which I hope that happens someday. I mean, you're just a cool dude. You and your fiance, Jaleesa. I love his content. He takes such a fun approach to it. Anytime he and I have ever talked privately or in his live shows, he's just a very articulate guy and really well-spoken and very in tune with his emotions and not responding in an emotional way when negative shit happens in this community. And I think a lot of people dismiss his ability to do that based off of the content that he provides with this really raunchy approach to creating reviews. But he's always been that way. He's always stayed true to the approach that he's wanted to take with fragrances, and that's making it a more comedic approach. And I just love that. You know, life is too fucking serious sometimes. People make this out to be too serious. People want this to be the end-all be-all when it comes to their sexual attraction and all this other horse shit. And it's just not. This is smelly fucking water. It's not gonna make you any more attractive unless you already possess the confidence that you need. And it's just one of those things where I love that he knows that and takes this very fun approach, including talking about the most raunchy of shit with his mother present and his fiance present, and just like including them in it and getting their reactions too. I love that shit. I love it. Excuse the fact that I suddenly, as soon as I'm talking about I am Joey Cannoli, apparently his words, his language, his bad language, his poor language has rubbed off on me. No, but seriously, I love his reviews, and I hope he keeps on doing what he's doing. You know, again, Joey, Brad, Dan, myself, we all started right around the same time. Brad and Joey and I have kind of, for some reason, not really accumulated as many subscribers. Again, that's not the end-all be-all for me, and I don't think it is for them either. But it is, you know, one of those things where, like, we all, again, approach this with the same lightheartedness, I think, and authenticity and whatever else. So I really appreciate Joey for bringing that to the table, the humor and the humanity in all of this. He brings that to the table and kind of keeps us all grounded, I think. So thank you for that, Joey. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Coming in at number 3, I think, is one of my absolute favorites to watch. He so reminds me of one of my very good friends that I, you know, had met at an old job. Just very mild-mannered, very to the point, very soft-spoken, very articulate, very smart. And that's Christo. Christo is one of my absolute favorites. It's always a pleasure to watch what he has to say about fragrance. I've watched him since he started. I've never really interacted with Christo for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I guess he kind of comes off as he likes to be, I don't want to say left alone like he's standoffish or anything, but I think he just comes off as he likes doing his own thing, but he shares that passion and that knowledge about fragrance with the rest of us, and I just get sucked in whenever I see any review, whether if I like the fragrance or not that he's talking about. He just has such a way of conveying what it is that he enjoys or dislikes about a fragrance. There's plenty that I've disagreed with him on. You know, he had his bag of shit reviews that he did where he threw like New Harlem in there, and I was like, ugh, that's like a stake through the heart. I'm a vampire. Shout out Gavin. But Christo has such a way of putting his thoughts out there and just drawing you in, and I love that about Christo. I love his base of knowledge, and I'm going to continue to watch anything that he pumps out. I think that he has great content. So thank you, Christo. I appreciate everything that you do for the community. Next up, we have at number 2 here, again, no real particular order. I keep on saying that, but I just really want to make sure that that's crystal clear, that I just love all you guys, and I love the community in general. But next up here, we have Renee, Mr. Zayas. Renee, you and I haven't really ever talked either. Here and there, you know, I've left a few comments or you've left a few comments. I don't really know if we've ever chatted one-on-one in particular, but I love Renee's taste in fragrance. Very luxurious, very upper scale. He's a gentleman. He's a sweetheart, honestly. I think a few of the times that I've commented on his videos, he's always been so grateful, just an overabundance of gratitude. And I don't know, I just love that, because I think that if you were to watch Renee, sometimes because of the energy that he brings, the overconfidence, I don't know, just that energy of being very confident in what he likes, and the fragrance, how he talks about the fragrances with the hype and all that stuff. You might think that he was kind of a jerk or something, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean that he's very confident on screen. And to know that he isn't that way in person when you converse with him, that he's not stuck up, that he's not full of himself, is just a really nice breath of fresh air. I love Renee's reviews. I love that he can hype shit up. I love that he keeps me interested in this journey, because he's always reviewing things that are never really talked about. So his ability to bring his taste to the table, draw you in, and then get you to most definitely want to try it, and you're out there buying samples or blind buying a bottle or whatever based off of his ability to just be so passionate and discuss what it is that he loves, is really something special. And I just like him that much more, knowing that he's just an awesome human being. So Renee, I appreciate you. I love your reviews. Keep doing what you're doing. Always going to watch your content. Again, love your taste. So thank you for everything you do for the community. And now we're on to number one. Number one, I'm always going to watch number one. Maybe number one has a special place in my heart. I mean, everybody on this list is there for a reason. But number one is the entire reason why I started. And not that he needs any kind of introduction, especially from people that started long after him, but Mark, Rubs08. Mark has shown in the past years so much generosity. He's shown so much positivity. He's shown so much support, you know, to myself in particular, and to so many other reviewers. He did some wonderful things for this community. He kickstarted a lot of these people's careers in the fragrance game. He kickstarted a lot of people's passion. For me, for the first, I want to say 6 months to a year that I started watching reviews on YouTube, I blind bought probably 30 bottles based off of his reviews. And, you know, maybe like 5 of them I didn't care for at the time. But his just absolute profound ability to make you want to enjoy this as much as he does, to make you feel like you can do this too, to make you feel like anyone and everyone can enjoy this hobby. I just feel like it takes a special kind of person to do that. And I've always, Mark and I, you know, it's not like we talk every day or even that often, but I just feel like Mark is almost this on this pedestal for me of like a favorite uncle or something. You know what I mean? He just possesses that ability to make me feel confident and good about what I do based off of the fact that he stays grounded, and he's always just shared his passion and never really let any of this other shit take over his frame of mentality. So I really appreciate it about him. He's just a humble guy and loves sharing his passion for this. And I would have never started this whole thing if it wasn't for him. So shout out to Mark. I love your content. You're an awesome guy. I hope that you continue to do what you do for years to come, and I will always be watching. So that has been it for my 10 reviewers that I watch consistently. There are so many more that I wish I could just talk and ramble on about. If you didn't make this list, don't take it personally. I love and watch so many of you out there, especially some of the up-and-coming reviewers. It's not that, you know, I don't watch you guys. I try to support as much as I possibly can in the mix of work and school and relationships and whatever else that I've got going on in my own personal life, and then trying to do this and throw this in there as well, this whole reviewing thing. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have an incredible week. I will talk to you all soon. This has been another Tunes Reviews top 10 most frequented reviewers that I watch. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will talk to you all later.